Hi class, it's Miss Rice here, and we are in our part 3 video now of Thanksgiving on Thursday by Mary Pope Osborne. So I know where we left off was where Jack and Annie were helping Priscilla with her pudding for Thanksgiving and a Thanksgiving feast. They made it through a terrible winter, but they're doing okay. And basically, Jack jumped up and followed Priscilla outside. So we're going to start on chapter 7. So it's called Arm Exercises. Alright, so let's get into the book. Priscilla led Jack and Annie away from the village toward a large field. The Pilgrims and the Wampanoag men had already gathered there. Jack could hear the beat of a drum, but he couldn't see what was going on. "Make haste or we'll miss it," said Priscilla. "Miss what?" said Annie. "Captain Standish is about to lead the men and boys," said Priscilla. "They will exercise their arms." "Why do they exercise their arms?" Jack wondered. "Will they expect me to join?" As he hurried after Priscilla toward the crowd, Jack practiced. He stretched his arm out wide, and he made circles in the air, and then he flapped his arms up and down. Priscilla caught sight of him. "What art thou doing, Jack?" she asked. "Exercising my arms," he said. Look at him. It's like this. Priscilla smiled, then she started to laugh. She laughed and laughed. So did Jack, but he wasn't sure why. A loud bang came from the field. Jack jumped. He stopped laughing. A puff of smoke rose into the air. As the crowd parted, Jack saw the Pilgrim men and boys proudly holding up their long guns. "Uh-oh. What just happened?" asked Annie. "The men fired their muskets," said Priscilla. "On special occasions they like to show off their arms." "Oh," thought Jack, "now I get it. The long guns are muskets, which are also called arms. So exercising arms means firing muskets?" Jack blushed. "Priscilla must think I'm an idiot," he thought. It's a very interesting book. But she smiled at him fondly. "I thank thee for making me laugh, Jack," she said. "I have not laughed hard in a long time." Jack shrugged as if he had meant to make her laugh. "It is time now to serve our feast," said Priscilla. "I must help with the bread." "What can we do?" asked Jack. "Return to my home," said Priscilla. "Take the turkey off the spit, put it on a platter, and bring it to the table." "Oh, great, we have to help with the turkey," said Annie. "I always help with the turkey at home." They finally get to help the turkey. Oh, yeah. "Good," said Priscilla. "May thou feel my home is thy home today." Oh, that's so sweet. Jack was excited too. He and Annie were about to serve the first turkey at the first Thanksgiving. They ran back to the smoky house and rushed inside. "Where's the platter?" said Jack, looking around. He saw a flat wooden block. "That must be it." Annie picked up the wooden platter. "How do we get the turkey on it?" she asked. They moved close to the fire and stared at the turkey roasting on the iron rod. "That must be the spit," said Jack. His spit sat on iron legs. It had a handle. Jack pushed his glasses into place. "I'll lift the spit," he said. "Then we'll push the turkey onto the platter." "Be careful," said Annie. Jack reached out and wrapped his fingers around the handle of the iron spit. Uh-oh, that's not look good. "Ow!" he shouted. The handle was super hot. Oh no. He yanked his hand away and he knocked the spit off its legs. The turkey fell into the fire. The grease from the turkey sputtered and popped. The turkey burst into flames. The fire roared. "Ah!" yelped Jack and Annie together. They jumped back from the hearth. Jack grabbed the water pot on the floor and he threw it into the fire. The fire sizzled and the smoke billowed up. When the smoke cleared, the fire was out, but the turkey was completely black. Oh no. Look at them, struggling. Poor guys. Nobody wants a burnt turkey on Thanksgiving. All right, chapter 8, the feast. Uh-oh, we're gonna talk about food. Jack buried his face in his hands. I don't believe it, he said. I just burned up the pilgrim's turkey. Stay calm, said Annie. I'll get Priscilla. No, don't tell Priscilla, moaned Jack. We have to tell Priscilla, said Annie. She hurried out of the house. Jack lifted his head and stared at the burned turkey. Poor Jack, oh my goodness. Oh man, he whispered unhappily. The pilgrims had worked so hard to get their food. They had such a terrible winter, especially Priscilla, and now he had ruined their first Thanksgiving. The door opened. Annie pulled Priscilla over to the hearth. See, said Annie, the turkey fell into the fire and it burned up. I did it, Jack confessed. Aw, Jack. Priscilla just stared at the burned turkey in the wet, messy hearth. Then she looked at Jack, and he looked away from her. Ah, Jack, Priscilla said softly. Thou look sad. He nodded. I ruined everything, he mumbled. No, thou did not, said Priscilla. She reached out her hand. Come. Aw, I like Priscilla. Priscilla led Jack and Annie out into the bright autumn light. Look, she said. Jack saw pilgrim women and kids walking to the tables. They all carried wooden platters piled with food. In the other houses they were cooking also, said Priscilla. Jack saw roasted ducks, turkeys, and deer meat. He saw baked fish, lobsters, eels, clams, and oysters. Wow, that's a feast right there. He saw pumpkins, beans, and corn, dried plums, berries, and roasted nuts, steamy pots of soups and puddings, and loaves of baked breads. Oh, sounds so good, making me hungry. We had a very good harvest this fall, said Priscilla. We stored many vegetables, we salted our fish, and cured our meat. And today our Wampanoag neighbors brought back 5 deer from the forest for our feast. Jack was relieved to see all the food. Priscilla knelt down and looked at him in the eye. See, thou did not ruin anything, Jack, she said. Thou and Annie have helped me a lot this day. Oh, Priscilla, you're so cute and sweet. You have both made me laugh, and you have both acted with kind hearts. Priscilla, character, amazing. Recommend. All right. Come, said Priscilla. Let us join with the others. Art thou hungry? Jack nodded. Seeing all the platters of food had made him really hungry. He and Annie followed Priscilla. In the golden glow of the autumn light, Jack and Annie joined the pilgrims in the Wampanoag at the long tables. Priscilla gave Jack and Annie wooden plates. She gave them big white cloth napkins. Then she served them with plenty of food. Look at all of them. They're all having a feast. I love that. It's so sweet. They're all eating together. Okay. Before they started to eat, Governor Bradford stood up to speak. Those of us who came here on the Mayflower did not know how to live in this land, he said, but Squanto came to help us. And today we give thanks for him and for the peace we share with his people and for all of our great blessings. Governor Bradford looked at Jack and Annie. Welcome to our feast, he said. At this moment, 3 worlds, your world, our world, and the world of the Wampanoag, are not 3, they are 1. Aw, that's so sweet. 'Tis the magic of community. Indeed, said Annie. She clapped her hands and looked at Jack. We did it, she whispered. Did what? Thought Jack. Governor Bradford then put his napkin over his shoulder. Now, he said, let us feast till our bellies are filled. As everyone started to eat, Annie leaned close to Jack. We found the special magic, she whispered, the magic of community. Remember the rhyme? She repeated Morgan's words. To find a special magic, when work and toil are done, gather all together, turn 3 worlds into 1. Oh man, said Jack. He'd forgotten all about it. We can go home now, said Annie. No way, said Jack. We have to eat first. Me too, Jack. Jack and Annie used their fingers to pick up their food, and they ate and ate and ate. Jack tried everything on his plate except a little bit of eel and 2 clams. Everything he did eat, he liked, even the turnips. Food really tastes good, he thought as he chewed, when you eat it outside on a beautiful day with lots of nice people. Oh, so sweet. Okay. Chapter 9, A Good Day. Oh, we all have a good day, don't we? Slowly the feast came to an end. The guests wiped their plates with their last bits of bread. Then they wiped their hands and faces with their napkins. Jack and Annie stood up. We have to go home, Annie said to Priscilla. Oh, I'm going to miss Priscilla. Ah, thou must go back to thine own community now, said Priscilla. Annie nodded. Then she kissed Priscilla on the cheek. This is sweet. Thanks for everything, Annie said. Jack wanted to kiss Priscilla too, but he was too shy. Thanks, Priscilla, he said. I thank thee, Jack, she said, and then she leaned over and kissed his cheek. Jack felt his face grow red. I think Jack had a little crush on Priscilla. Excuse me, sir, Annie said to Governor Bradford, but we must leave now. Oh, but we have not yet taught thee how to grow corn, said the little girl Mary. Squanto stood up. Come, he said, I will walk Jack and Annie back to the forest. I will teach them. Oh, thou dost not have to do that, Jack said quickly. He feared that once they were alone, Squanto would figure out that they'd never met before. Oh. But Squanto only smiled and waited for them to follow. Man, Squanto and Priscilla, I love these characters. Bye, everyone, said Annie, waving. Jack waved too. All the pilgrims and Wampanoags waved back at them. The skinny dog barked. Squanto led Jack and Annie away from the village toward the autumn woods. As they passed the cornfield and dried stalks swayed in the breeze, they made shushing sounds. Squanto stopped walking. He pointed to the field. You must plant corn in the spring, he said. Put the seed in the ground when the oak tree bud is as small as a mouse ear. Oh, wait, please, said Jack. He slipped his notebook and pencil out of his bag. It was the first time he'd had the chance to take notes all day. He wrote, how to plant corn. Oak tree bud equals mouse ear. Then he looked up at Squanto and nodded. Dig holes and put 2 rotting fish in each hole, said Squanto. Rotting fish, said Annie, making a face. Ugh, rotting fish. Yes, rotting fish is good food for the soil, said Squanto. On top of the fish, place 4 corn seeds, then cover them with dirt. Jack quickly wrote, 2 rotting fish, 4 corn seeds, cover with dirt. Got it, he said, looking up. I give you these corn seeds to take home, said Squanto. He held up a small pouch. Thanks, said Annie, taking the pouch. Thanks a lot, said Jack. Well, goodbye. Jack was eager to get going before Squanto could ask them questions about the past. Oh, that's really good. Wait, I have a question, said Annie. Squanto, why did you say you remembered us? Squanto's dark eyes twinkled. I did not say I remembered you, he said. I only said I remember. What did you remember? Asked Annie. I remembered that it was what it was like to be from a different world. Oh, this is a good book, said Squanto. Long ago I lived with my people on this shore. But one day men came in ships. They took me to Europe as a slave. In that land I was a stranger. I felt different and afraid. I saw the same fear in your eyes today, so I tried to help you. Annie smiled. We thank thee, she said. And now you must always be kind to those who feel different and afraid, said Squanto. Remember what you felt today. Indeed, said Jack. Before closing his notebook, he added one last thing. Be kind to those who feel different and afraid. I love that. Squanto bowed. Good day, Jack and Annie, he said. Good day, they said. Squanto turned and headed back to the village. The sun was setting. All of Plymouth was lit with a fiery light. It was a really good day, said Annie. Yeah, it was, said Jack. Annie sighed. Ready to go home? She asked. Indeed, Jack said. And they started running through the woods. Their feet crunched through the red and yellow leaves. They scrambled up the rope ladder into the treehouse. From the distance came the sound of the pilgrims singing a hymn and the Wampanoag beating their drums. Annie picked up the Pennsylvania book. She pointed at a picture at the Frog Creek woods. I wish we could go home, she said. Goodbye, Priscilla, Jack called. Goodbye, Squanto, said Annie. Goodbye, everyone. The wind started to blow. The wind blew harder. The treehouse started to spin, and it spun faster and faster. Then everything was still, absolutely still. There's Squanto telling the kids bye. Oh, such a good book. All right, chapter 10, Thankful. Jack opened his eyes and he sighed. They were wearing their own clothes again. His leather bag was his backpack. Sunlight slanted through the treehouse window. As always, no time at all had passed in Frog Creek. Home, said Annie. She held up the pouch of corn seeds. Proof for Morgan we found a special magic. The magic of community, said Jack. Annie placed the pouch on the floor next to the scrolls from Shakespeare and the twig from the gorillas of the cloud forest. Let's go, she said. Jack took the research book out of his pack and he left it under the window. Then they climbed down the rope ladder. As they started through the woods, a warm wind blew, rattling the leaves. Jack felt happy. He was looking forward to visiting their grandmother today and seeing their cousins, aunts, and uncles. You know, Pilgrim kids had a really hard life, said Annie. Yeah, they did as much work as the grown-ups, said Jack. Maybe more. Worst of all, lots of their friends and family members died, said Annie. Yeah, said Jack. Both were silent for a moment. If they could be so thankful, said Annie, we should be really thankful. No kidding, said Jack. Really, really thankful. And they were. There's the little sack of corn seeds that Squanto gave them. All right. The end. We actually finished the book, you guys. And I wanted to give you a little bit of backstory on Priscilla. Priscilla Mullins was an 18-year-old daughter of the shopkeeper. In the general sickness of her first year, she lost her parents and brother. In 1623, Priscilla married another pilgrim, John Alden, a barrel maker. Priscilla and John had 10 kids. So this is actually based on history. So I hope you guys enjoy this book as much as I did. It was so good. I love it. I'll have to read you another Magic Tree house book because they are really good. They were my favorite when I was little. But I will probably be posting one more video on Tuesday, and then you guys will be off for Thanksgiving break. So yeah, thanks for watching all these videos, and I hope you guys like them. I will hopefully see you soon. Everyone stay safe from COVID, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.